It has been 2 years since COVID-19 has dropped, and wow, what an insane 2 years. And obviously, this video is a little bit late, but you know what? It's better late than never. And instead of telling you guys um, all about COVID-19 and what kind of stuff that, we've probably been through, which you probably have heard like all over the place on TikTok or YouTube, as well of other people showing their experiences of like their last day of school or anything like that. I think it was very important for me to do a self reflection of myself throughout 2 years. And, a lot of people, set a lot of goals in mind, thinking about, what goals they have planned, and then they set them out throughout the year and what they're trying to focus on. And I feel like, each day I feel like I haven't done as much as I should have been doing. But then now that I look at the list, I feel like I've done a lot. And obviously, there's still some stuff that I need to discover first. But let's first go down the road from 2020. Obviously, that year was COVID-19 pandemic, which started way back. I mean, we've heard about it in December, which a lot of people tend to say that December 2019 was when we found out. But the pandemic never really hit until March 2020, which the pandemic hit and school happened to the point where we had to do online, or we got a 2-week break, which wasn't that bad. Anyway, that would be something that it will turn into a year and a half, which is quite insane. And it was not fun online learning, but a lot of things happened. Obviously, I got sick like around February 2020, and I was completely confused because I would be sick for another 2 months until April 2020. And obviously, we were still finding out a lot of things about the symptoms and everything like that. And I've had all the symptoms before, besides shortness of breath, but it was quite annoying and frustrating to the point where I was like ready to give up. Like internally just stopped trying. I was sick for 2 years, not 2 years, 2 months, and it was the most stressful and frustrating time of my life. Eventually, throughout the year, I would gain a lot of weight, and a lot of things happened. Basically, COVID-19 started in March of 2020, and then following that, we had the whole year. Where we got the Australia fire, the protests that we had. We had a bunch of protests, which the protests dates back to May of 2020, which was an insane year, by the way. It was during the summer. It was like barely heating up, and it was starting to get nice out. And I felt like a lot of people were super bored, so we had a lot of crash-ins, a lot of break-ins into stores and retails, and it was not safe to go out. And but then you also had the protests standing up for equality. And then following that, like towards June, middle of the summer, we obviously had that Australia fire that ruined a lot of ground and ruined a lot of habitats. And we were very concerned for the wildlife in Australia, and it burned down a lot. And you guys obviously remember the news about it. And and then I started my YouTube channel like around the same time for gaming. A lot of people were really bored, and that's when Among Us really came up and coming, and it was very popular game. And then obviously a lot of people started being really creative on TikTok, and a lot of people downloaded TikTok. I downloaded TikTok because I wanted to see the hype about it. I liked it. I ended up posting it, and maybe soon I'll start posting on it again. But obviously, a lot of people started getting creative, and I started pursuing my passion for YouTube. And obviously, I'm still gonna continue it until maybe one day I'll blow up. But I decided to continue my gaming channel, which I had quit like a while back. I was not consistent, and I would not post because I would give the excuse that, oh, maybe I got school and I got a couple other things. But in reality, life just slowed down at that moment. So that's what happened in 2020, a lot of stuff. And then obviously mental health came in, and I think that was towards the end of the month, close to winter. Honestly, winter is like the most depressing season ever. It gets really dark, and a lot of like dark times start to come in, and it definitely wasn't great. And I've dealt with a lot of mental health, a lot of isolation, and it felt pretty lonely. Now 2021, around March of 2021, I've received braces, which you guys can probably see it in my videos, but yeah, I ended up getting them, and I've had them for a while now, and I'll be able to have it for 2 years. But yeah, that was something new. I was starting to get into my development stage. Obviously, in 2020, I figured out what I wanted to go after. Stage, if I was to call 2021, I would call it the physical appearance stage, because that's what happened. Physical capabilities, and stuff that we want to improve and try and find ourselves. And I feel like I had a plan going into it. A lot of creators I took an inspiration from really helped me, like Alex Costa, How to Beast, and a couple other YouTubers I'll probably put on the screen. But a lot of YouTubers really helped me out, and they really shaped up who I am today. And so I feel like this stage of the year was mainly physical appearance, and I didn't even plan it, which is crazy to think about. But March of 2021, I received braces. They were not that fun. And then soon after, I ended up getting into baseball, which was August. I ended up signing up with a friend of mine that I met up. Obviously, way back in 2020, before the pandemic even hit, I ended up meeting some old friends, and I got in contact with a lot of them. And they were really beneficial to the pandemic and the friends that I needed to bring back nostalgia. So I feel like that was very important during COVID times. But yeah, I ended up getting into baseball. I played about 20 games. Obviously, it's my very first season where I play as a team. But I played for fun, and I was really good at it. As far as playing games, I don't think I was really that great. But it was my very first couple seasons, and I actually did not that bad for someone that just plays for fun. And it definitely humbled me on what I needed to do. And then towards that, around the August or before that, I ended up getting into working out, and I started working out and getting into shape. Obviously, I was weighing about 172, around the 32 body fat percentage. And obviously that's a little bit different now, because I've changed physically, and I've looked way different than I did back then, and I've made a complete 180 change in healthy choices, and I'm being consistent with it, and I have a goal of trying to achieve that. I've been waking up every 5 a.m. in the morning, which by the way, I'll give you guys a daily routine or a morning routine. I think that would be really cool to record. But yeah, I started doing that, and just to benefit how well I play baseball, because every time I ate healthy, I just felt like I was ready to go. When I ate something heavy, I just felt like crap. And I got to play really well, and I got to lose a bunch of weight during that time, so that was really important. Obviously, junior year comes in. Finally a junior. Way back in 2020, I was a sophomore, so freshman ending into pandemic hit, I was a sophomore, and then now I am actually a junior, which I'm almost finished, about to be a senior, which is crazy to think about. Obviously that brought up a lot of opportunities, a lot of social situations where I met the friends that I'm with today. I've met a lot of people. Obviously it took some time to get back into quality conversations, and because of COVID, I just felt like I couldn't really make friends right off the bat, but it definitely took some time, and I kind of found my group. But ended up joining a lot of stuff like mariachi band. I play violin now, and I've been participating in a lot of musical stuff. And right now I also have a class called piano class, which I've been getting into piano. A lot of just getting into my interest, and it's getting there. And then towards November, I would say, finding my style and finding out who I am. And obviously it took a while. I ended up finding up some pieces of, like, I'll pop up some photos up on the screen, but yeah, I ended up finding out my style and just really enjoying the journey that, I'd never even planned to. And you guys may be asking, what about 2022? Well, we are still 3 months in, and obviously it's getting on to 4, and I have some goals in mind. This year is going to be something that I want to focus on, and I feel like pretty confident in my physical appearance and what kind of direction I have. And I think there's one more part of the pillar that I'm like, you know what, I need this down before, and obviously I'm working on this YouTube channel, this YouTube idea, and I hope it works out. And yeah, so 2022 is still a mystery, and you guys will find out in the very end, probably at the end of the year. I'll give like my full on reflection, but I hope you guys do really enjoy this video. This was kind of a reflection, and I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.